fair skin has been in favor for what? The past hundreds of years? But now the pendulum has swung back. Black is in fashion.
Hello and welcome to the final podcast, the last podcast you'll ever listen to.
Your final bros are here. It's Brian Hopper LaGrasta and Shane White Powder, not White Power, White Powder Smith. Oh,
ridiculous.
Yes, I feel like this is long overdue.
It is. We are doing Get Out, Jordan Peele's first venture into horror. It's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Is it as good as us? Is it not as good as us? It's up for debate. Everyone's different. But Get Out, man. It's a good movie. It was a good first effort for horror. It's different.
It's definitely different. I feel like this movie came in with I don't know because of the racial tones of the movie. It came in with so much hype.
It did.
So much. And it is a very good film. Very excited to talk about it. Way overdue on our podcast, like I've been saying for a while.
Without a doubt.
Should have done this a while ago, especially because there's Nope that's coming out, which we got to get to. Jordan Peele has been known to push the envelope on a couple of issues regarding social commentary. Yep. But, I mean, I've liked his movies. They've been pretty good, so I'm happy to talk about this one. Daniel Kaluuya, the guy who plays the main character in this movie, I think his name is Chris.
Yes.
He is a very good actor. He was in Skins. I think it was an episode of Black Mirror.
Yes.
Before I saw him in this, he's very good. I believe he was nominated for an Oscar for this role. I also believe this movie was put up for Best Picture.
I think it was.
Which I will be honest, I think is insanity to me.
Yeah, it shouldn't.
This does not feel like a Best Picture movie. It does, however, feel like a very strong and very good thriller.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt. Where to start? Everything about this movie is it's well directed, it's well acted.
That's the worst scene of the movie.
The animal.
Oh my God, that deer went flying.
It literally looks like it's thrown at the car and then skids off. It's absurd, but everything else, though, I love the side characters, too, because I love the TSA agent, Rod.
He's funny. I really like Bradley Whitford as the father. Yeah. I think Caleb Landry Jones, who plays the son, I think is the most underrated actor in the entire planet right now. I think he's so good at playing a very annoying character that gets under your skin. Every role he plays in, he always plays a bad guy, and he just always knows how to, push a protagonist's buttons in the right way. He's so good. He always creates a very unnerving tension, and he definitely does so.
He just makes you want to hate him.
Oh, easily.
Wasn't he in Twin Peaks?
He's in Twin Peaks. He's in Antiviral. He's in a few movies.
Yeah. He gets under your skin very easily. We could talk up Jordan Peele. I even like his comedy, Keanu with the cat. I think it's a really good movie. Obviously, Key and Peele was great.
He directed Keanu, Jordan Peele?
I think he did. I'm pretty sure he did. If he didn't, my bad. But I know, him and
Keegan-Michael.
Yeah, we're the stars of it. Let me check real quick before we so I know if I'm right or not, but he didn't direct it. I wonder who directed it then, because I love that movie, the two of them in that movie. Yeah, it looks like he's only directed Get Out, Us, and Nope, which, looking at the ratings on IMDb, I don't think it's fair, because Get Out is a 7.8 and Us only has a 6.8.
That's crazy. That's just crazy to me. I do believe there's this movie came out in a time where I do feel like the ratings are skewed because of the racial elements. I hope that's not the case. I think it is. I don't think this is.
But even Us has the racial undertones to different things that
I think Us is better than this movie. That's why. I don't know. I think Us is scarier. I think Us is a better movie. But this movie I do like. I think it's more of a thriller than a horror. Really does keep you at the edge of your seat. I think the scene with the police officer is absolutely ridiculous. I don't think a police officer would do this, but you never know. He's out of line regardless. And I do think like specifically these two actors, Daniel Kaluuya and Allison Williams, are both good. She's ridiculously creepy in The Perfection.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, that movie's so
strong
good.
Performance, and he's just generally just a good actor.
Yeah,
I was reading somewhere like where they had him do 5 straight takes of like a scene where he was crying, and he at the same point every time he hit the tear perfectly like they wanted to, and they offered him the role instantly. Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, he sells this movie. Is a movie that needed a strong lead to really drive home the point, and
sure.
he makes this movie great. So,
yeah, I mean, like I think the side characters are good. Catherine Keener is very creepy. Bradley Whitford, obviously, the whole family is just fucking creepy. And like I think after watching this like multiple times, I'm like, how could I not have figured this out like upon first watch?
I know, but that that's the thing with a lot of movies. Like on second viewing, you're like, oh man, all these little things make it so obvious what's going on. So obvious. But let's do it, Bri. Let's jump into the spooky pit so we can talk about those things.
Okay, let's do that, Shane.
Let's do it.
Get Out 2017, it was released. Interracial was not in circa 2017. It is now, but it wasn't back then. It just wasn't. This film was directed by Jordan Peele. It stars Daniel Kaluuya as Chris, Allison Williams as Rose, Bradley Whitford as Dean, Catherine Keener as Missy, Landry Jones as Jeremy, Stephen Root as Jim Hudson, and Lil Rey Howery as Rod. Rod is hilarious.
I love
He's
Rod.
He's a perfect amount of comic relief to this.
Yes. So this is going back to Hatchet 2, where we said that one guy's comic relief got annoying over time. I think Rod is in the movie just enough that it's consistently funny every time.
Yeah.
All right. So basically, the movie opens up. We see a guy get kidnapped in a suburban area.
Yeah.
We don't know who he is.
He's a black guy.
Yeah. Or anything about him, but he's been kidnapped in a suburban area. So then we cut to Chris and Rose. They are an interracial couple together. They're going to see Rose's parents for the first time. This is going to be his first time meeting Rose's parents.
And he's like, did you let them know that I am black?
Yeah.
Please inform them that I am a black man. And she's like, it's fine. My father voted for Obama. He would have voted for him for a third time. Best president of all time.
I actually love, because she does say that. She's like, trust me, he'll tell you he would have voted for Obama a third time. And then when we cut to them talking, he's like, Obama would have voted for him a third time if I could. Best president in my lifetime.
Yeah, but like, here's the deal. Like, and he picks up on this as well as he's going through this. They're trying so hard, but making it so uncomfortably obvious that they're definitely using his blackness as like a way to kind of like integrate into the group to make them feel cool. And it's just so awkward because he's like, this is definitely not genuine.
Yeah, it seems very fake.
It's forced. It's not appropriate. Like even his when they like look at the pictures and he's like my relative, or he's like his father.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
But the Jesse Owens thing, it would have been like his only knock was it couldn't be Jesse Owens.
Oh my god.
Like how try hard is that?
It's very. I will give him one thing that he said that honestly might not be try hard. It just depends how you look at it. Statistically, Barack Obama might be the best president because I don't think we've actually had a good president since we've been alive.
That's
true. I ran through the list, and I think it's the first George Bush, Bill Clinton, the other George Bush, Barack Obama, Donald Trump, and Biden.
I'm not I don't really know too much about it.
It just none of them seem like good.
If you were to tell me who the best is, I think it's Bill Clinton, like bar none.
It probably is.
Like I from like I even with like I don't know anything, but like from what I know, besides like the fucking shady shit he was doing getting it in and being a real dog.
Yeah, like
I feel like we were in a good place at that point.
Yes, that's why it's actually crazy. The serial cheater is the best president we had.
I mean, but like then again, like politics. Politics affects certain people. If you're in a certain class, you're gonna love certain things.
Exactly.
So
it'll be different depending, but
it's segmented upon population for sure. Because every president will dictate towards a certain populace. Regardless,
it's wild. All right, so now going back to the movie, like you said, like it's when he gets to the house, it's very, very obvious they're just trying to be like hip. Like they're like all the things they say are like, I love black culture, or like things like that.
I wonder if like they would have just been straight up like, hey, we're racist, but you're dating your daughter, so we accept you. And how that would have went down.
Probably would have went better.
Right?
It probably
like people
at least they
appreciate
were
the
honest.
So, like, essentially, they're not racist at all. Apparently, they're so not racist that they would have voted Obama a third term. In any case, he notices immediately they have two servant black folks on the. They have got his name. The groundskeeper was the first one. Walter.
It's Walter.
Walter,
right?
the groundskeeper. Very strange. And then Georgina, who just smiles and laughs.
Georgina is terrifying.
She's terrifying, and he's like, look. Pulls him to the side. He's like, I know how this looks. But listen, like, they took care of, like, our family when they were not feeling well, and we wanted to keep them on. He's like, I know how it looks, but, like, we're just giving them jobs. And it seems to be understood at this point.
Yeah. They're like, my parents love them. So when my parents passed away, I felt like they needed to stay around.
And if I could just let you know one more thing, I would have voted for Obama a third term.
He does. It is actually the scene where he says it. So, like, things are kind of weird like that. Very unsettling feel. They have a conversation where, like, we learn that the mom, Catherine Keener's character, what's her name?
Her name is...
Just so I remember.
Catherine Keener, Missy.
Missy, we learn Missy is a hypnotist.
She's a psychiatrist,
yes.
Which is involved in, like, hypnotism.
Yeah, so we learn that she wants to hypnotize him to get him to stop smoking around, like, their daughter. It's like the one thing that they're very heavy about. They're like, don't smoke in front of our daughter. Like, we're going to make you quit. We'll hypnotize you. I mean, he says no. He's like, I don't want to be hypnotized. But just rewatching this, I noticed right away she starts doing the things to hypnotize him with the spoon. So the whole thing is like she has this teacup and she taps a spoon on the teacup and starts spinning it around.
It's like a trigger
she
for
actually does it in this first scene with the iced tea. She taps her spoon twice and twirls it a little bit. So I think actually, I didn't realize it. Actually, from this scene forward, she's working towards hypnotizing him.
Yeah, she's just getting him, like, making him used to the sound because, like, once she gets him in the one-on-one, that's going to be the scene that makes him go to the sunken place.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, like, he's already caught off, kind of like off guard. Like, nothing is like just seems to be genuine. It's very forced. And Rose is kind of plays like, oh, my family doesn't care, blah, blah, blah. But, like, right after the first day, she's just like, yeah, I'm super sorry. Like, they were super weird. Like, I'm sorry they're so awkward. But the biggest call-outs are these housekeepers, like the groundskeeper and Georgina, because they just don't look right.
Dude, they look like 40s, like they almost indentured servant.
They look like plantation workers, let's be honest. And, like, it's very obvious they don't look like they look at times sad. Like, I know, like, right here that she overpours his cup. She's not paying attention. She's just, like, very visibly disturbed. I think that's the first, like, offsetting alarm. Like, something just doesn't appear to be
seem right. So, like, different things start to happen. Like, he notices, like, his phone keeps getting unplugged when he's trying to charge it, which is like.
And then Georgina goes in there and just like, hey, I'm so sorry. Like, I was cleaning and I did unplug it. I didn't want to destroy your phone, so I apologize.
Yeah. And she's like, he like wants his phone so he could call his TSA buddy Rod and keep him like informed with what's going on. So now we can talk about their first dinner. This is where we meet the brother Jeremy. And he literally, all right, he's basically goes and he's like, you look, you fight? Like, it's just like...
He's like, you would be a genetic beast if you fought. He's like, you know what? I'm going to put you in a headlock.
It's like, dude, no. It's like, just stop. We're at the dinner table. Jeremy's like...
He's like, I don't fight drunk folks, dude. Like, relax.
Jeremy's uncomfortable. Like, very uncomfortable.
That's why I think he's just so good at what he does. Like, he just gets under your skin.
Yeah. Because, like, he's clearly... poking the bear of like Chris being black by saying that, like, she's like, you're a genetic freak, you're the black Scott Steiner, like
I'm a genetic freak.
Yeah, like it's wild. And the parents are playing it off like, oh, Jeremy, stop
Classic
being
Jeremy.
weird. You're trained to be a doctor. We'll learn what kind of doctor he's trained to be soon, but...
Yeah. I think the interesting thing, though, that just gets me is just like how Allison acts real. Is that her name, Allison? It's Rose.
Rose.
I'm calling her Allison.
Her real name is Allison.
Yeah. It's just like, she's always just being dismissive. Like, they're so weird. I get it. They're so weird. But like she never is just like actually doing anything about it.
No. And it makes sense once again at the end. Like, did you, when the first time watching this, obviously something was wrong. You knew the parents and the brother and all that. Did you think Rose was part of it the whole time?
No, I didn't. I was fooled.
Yeah. I thought she hadn't been home for a while and this was something new that was going on. The way it went, I was like, oh shit, okay, this is a long con.
Yeah. The first time I was fooled, I knew that. Yeah, I'm with you. I absolutely knew the whole family was behind it just based on the way the servants were acting. But her, not so much.
That's why I thought Rose might have been like estranged from them or something, and that's why. But no, this goes deep.
Yeah. It's definitely something that keeps you on the edge of your seat the whole time.
Yeah.
You're always kind of guessing like what goes on.
Well, because it's very uncomfortable. A lot of the scenes they make you, and it's supposed to make you uncomfortable, and it does a good job at that. So I think we want to talk about that first like hypnosis scene now, where he goes.
It's gonna happen because he goes outside to like have a cigarette, and he comes back. Well, he goes out to have a cigarette. Walter just does a straight run for
at him,
and he dodges him.
And he goes back inside, and that's when he runs into Missy, who Missy's like, how about you step in my office? And that's when she starts talking to him, and she's like, she does a tap, she twirls the taste. She's like, let's talk about your mother.
He's like, I'd rather not.
He's like, no, we're going to talk about your mother. And like, you can tell because he's like gripping hard on
he's trying not
the
to.
chair.
He had a traumatic incident. He doesn't want to talk about it, but she's going to keep tapping the glass, and then she kind of gets him in that hypnosis.
Because he's like, why am I like paralyzed? And she's like, it's all part of the process.
Yeah.
Yeah, I trust the process. We're the 76ers out here.
Oh
I did this to Joel Embiid last week.
Yeah, she asked him a bunch of questions. She wants him to be put in that moment, that vulnerable moment where essentially you do find out that his mother got hit in a car accident. And he did absolutely nothing and just let her lie out there and die.
Yeah. Sad, but it's... You got a lot of his backstory
But this is the first point where she like actually puts him in the sunken place where she says sink in your seat, and he like kind of like falls and like almost like just sees like his life play out in front of him.
And then there's nothing he can do to stop.
There's nothing he can do to control his motor functions, and he just wakes up and thinks it's all a dream.
Yeah. It's not, and it's going to get deeper into what the meanings behind the sunken place and everything. So I think the next part is kind of where he meets they have all the people get together, neighbors.
They just start coming, and it's a bunch of white folks.
Except there is one black guy there, Andre, who is not Andre anymore. He is like someone else.
Yeah, completely different name. He's dressed in like plantation clothes.
With a fucking straw hat. And he's like, well, thank you, sir. It's so nice to see you.
It's so
He's
funny.
talking like Seagal.
Sounding like Seagal. He's meeting all these different people. He's mentioning some other guy. He was talking to him. He's just... And everyone just like so fake. He's like, oh, I know Tiger. Let me see your golf form.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
It just gets like so tacky.
And it's wild because the person we're learning wants him is the most genuine seeming person out of all of them.
Well, no, and I like that because I like that because I like the way that it goes down. But he does go down and meet this blind guy. Stephen Root plays him. Stephen Root's always
Jim
fabulous.
Hudson is the man's name.
Jim Hudson. And he knows his work because he has an art gallery.
Yeah.
So he knows his work even though he's blind. He says he's got good work because he does take photos. Chris's character. Yep. And so they talk a little bit. He's like, you got an eye. So that's just like a forewarning about what's going to happen later. Super interesting. And then I think they go back and, he's like integrating. He's talking to the black gentleman who was named Andre. And then I think the biggest call is when they get into a group and he's talking to the TSA agent. He wants to flash a photo of this guy. And he flashes a photo.
Yeah.
And the guy just goes fucking nuts when he sees that.
He just, his nose starts to bleed. And then
Get out.
Yeah. And like you knew at that point something was going on. And then
like, get off me, man. Get off me.
Yeah. And I love how like Rod, every time he talks to Rod, he's like, yo, I'm telling you, it's a sex cult. They're sex slaves. They're taking us in. They're using us as sex slaves.
This is some ass shit.
Yeah. And to be fair, he's slightly right with Andre.
Yeah.
Because he's definitely being used as like a husband sex slave.
Was that the guy from the beginning?
That's what I took it as.
Yeah.
I thought it was the guy from the beginning that got kidnapped in the suburbs. Because they did say he was just going to visit his girl and got kidnapped.
It is so abundantly clear something is off. Like, it's without a doubt. Now I just got to figure out what. So, like, I know they have a session where they kind of, like, they clear the air. And the man talks like a legitimate slave.
Yes.
Right? Like, he could not talk anymore like a slave.
It's 100% what he's talking like. And that's the point, though. Like,
it was a pleasure meeting you, Chris. I am apologizing for my behavior this evening. It was totally uncalled for.
All he had to do was throw out a massa and but so Chris and Allison go to the side to talk while the rest of the family goes to play bingo. But bingo isn't bingo. Bingo is a silent auction of Chris.
It is a silent auction of Chris. You see his picture, and this is where, like, okay, it's disturbing. Won by the blind guy, Jim.
We're supposed to assume that's $10 million.
Jesus.
Because I feel like it ain't $10,000. So
you're like, okay, what's going on here?
Yeah, this doesn't seem up to standards, up to code. So it's gonna basically, Chris is gonna get super freaked out by everything that's going on with Andre and all this. So he's like, all right, Rose, we need to leave tonight. We need to go tonight. There's not something right with Georgina and Walter and like Andre. It's like, we got to go. We got to get out of here. So he's like, get the keys. We're leaving tonight.
Yeah. As this is going on, and maybe even a little bit before, I just want to mention the TSA agent.
Yes, that's a good time to bring it up.
Own investigation, where this is super funny. Like, he goes to the police.
I love this scene. This scene.
He presents the evidence. He discusses how it's a potential sex slave, and the lady cop is just basically like, all right, so, like, let me get this straight. And then after the scene cuts, she has two other detectives listening. He goes through how it's like aliens could be involved. It's a sex call, and then they all just start laughing. And the lady's just like, I knew you would like this. I knew this would make your day.
Oh, it's so fucked up. And I like, though, how Jordan Peele portrayed this, where it's the TSA agent is talking to three black police officers. Yeah. So he didn't, like, play that stereotypical, like, it's only the white cops that don't listen. It's just, like, the police don't listen. Like,
it's just because it's such, like, a far-fetched
thing, yes. It's funny. Because he's like, I love when he's explaining, he's like, I'm TSA. We have the same training as you. Sometimes more training than you. He's like, we're dealing with terrorists and shit.
Terrorist shit.
It's so good. So, yeah, cutting back now to Chris and Rose, they go downstairs and the family, the character broken. They're like, the dad's like fucking playing with a golf club. He's like, where are you going? It's like, shit, getting ready to, like, it's like, so you're going to leave. He's like, Rose, get the keys, Rose. And I love this fucking scene.
Well, even before this, we should have mentioned the big bombshell of when he's telling her to get ready to leave. She's like, okay, let me find the keys. She's struggling.
Oh my God. How did I forget this?
He looks in like this little, of course it's open. Yeah. He goes in there and he's like looking through pictures and he sees a picture of her and about like maybe 10 other black boyfriends.
Yes. And the last one's Andre.
Andre's the last one.
So this is why I was more so, you're right, because he knows now that she's in on it.
He knows the whole thing's a setup.
So that's why when he's like, Rose, get the keys, Rose, get the keys, Rose. And she's fumbling through her bag. Legitimately, I think it's a scene that goes on for about 4 minutes. Yeah. And then eventually she's like, you know what? You're right. Here's the keys. You're not going anywhere.
Yeah. The thing, like, so he goes, you're fucked. He's going downstairs. Yeah. Caleb Landry Jones, I think he's got a golf.
He does. He's
high. He's guarding the door. Left side of the room is the mom, just in the other room.
And the dad.
And the father's just like, Chris, what is your purpose?
I know. Goes deep into it.
Like what is your intended life goal? Like, what are you doing here? And then he's like, Rose, keys. Like, he keeps saying it. Rose, he's like, get the keys, Rose. Come on.
It's so well done.
It is. He does do it good.
He does like that. I get the crying thing that you explained earlier because the panicked look is so perfect.
He kills it. Would you have just try to jump through the window?
100%.
Right? I was gonna say that. I'm just busting.
I'm gone.
Number one, I'm knocking out that piece of shit brother.
Yeah,
he's getting fucking knocked out. Yeah. He does go for a golf swing. I would have fucking knocked him out. Yeah. I don't care what kind of jiu-jitsu he knows. Yeah. I would have tried to fuck him up right away.
Well, no, yeah, that's so. I mean, it's just scary though because You know they're all gonna try to stop you at the same time.
But mom's OP because mom's got the hypnosis.
Because that's all she had. Yep.
When she, like you said, like when she's like, you got the keys. She goes, oh, and then she's like,
she literally says, "But you're not going anywhere.
I got the keys, but you're not going anywhere." And then the mom just hit the.
And he collapses instantly into the sunken place. And I love the visual of the sunken place where it's him underwater looking up at them, but can't do anything. Yeah. It's such a good visual. And that's when he wakes up downstairs in the chair in front of a TV. And this is where we learn they have been taking in black people to swap brains essentially with the white people. It's called the Coagula Initiative.
I love the video. It's so creepy when they like strap him down and he watches the Coagula. Kind of felt like The Invitation in a way.
Yes.
Where like
it seemed like some BioShock shit where they're just making you watch what they're doing.
The Coagula is basically like they're taking. That's why they always ask these questions about like his genetics. And this goes like to that racist element of like, not racist element, more just like the people have like this belief that like black people have like this genetic anomaly where they're super athletic and super. In any case, these as they get older, they're taking their brains and implanting them into the vessel that is the black person.
Yes. So it's like they're taking them over while the black person stays in that sunken place where they're trying to get out, so but they can't.
They're passengers. Because like, you didn't even see like Georgina when Georgina's communicating. It's not Georgina. It's actually their grandmother.
Yes.
Georgina's in a sunken place. And that's why she's crying. Because it's like...
She's trying to get out.
She's trying to get out, but she just absolutely, no matter what, cannot.
Good time to mention. Georgina is the mom, and Walter is the father of this family. And they're
the grandchildren, the grandparents of...
Rose,
but the parents of
the Missy and the other one, the dad. It's the dad's parents.
The father,
So what we learn here is Jim Hudson is trying to take over Chris for his eyes. He loves his eyes,
and I absolutely love what he said because he's like, "Look, I could care less what race you are. I just want to fucking see again."
Yeah, it's like. He's like, it ain't that. He's like, I just want eyes.
Yeah, it's like,
it
ain't
not that deep.
But I know I can get better eyes, so I want to be in you.
Yeah, I want to be in you. So, yeah, this whole thing is going on, and they're like trying to transform him. And he's like clawing at the chair, which I will point out is very important.
Very cool, yeah.
Because he gets the stuffing out of the chair, and we don't see it, but he puts it into his ears so he can't hear the click of like the stuff. So when they come in to prep him for surgery, they actually show Jim Hudson's brain is already being removed.
The father's the surgeon is actually cut off his brain. They're getting ready for transplantation.
So Jeremy's gonna go get Chris to move him in, and he fucking fucks Jeremy up. He beats him over the head with something, right?
Jeremy, how does he fuck Jeremy?
He hits Jeremy in the head with something because I know he falls down. There's a pool of blood around Jeremy. I just don't remember what he hits him with. Ashtray, it might be, or something like that.
Well, Jeremy's the one that he comes in and he just hits him in the top of the head.
I can't remember what it is though.
I do remember like when he next sees the father.
He grabs the deer antlers,
rams the deer antlers up through him and kills him.
Oh my god, yeah.
The mom, he just takes because the mom is interesting. When he sees the mom, she like can't do anything anymore, but like she tries to stab him. He takes it through the hand, and then takes the back of his hand and stabs her with it.
I fucking love that
awesome
scene. It's so badass. And that's when like he's getting ready to leave, but then Jeremy comes back and attacks him again, and that's what he beats Jeremy in this fight, and then. Not only stomps his face out. Like, he fucking Victor Crowley, like, continually stomps this man's face out.
I loved it. It's great.
Then he's getting in the car. He's going to escape. He gets attacked from the back seat by Georgina.
Yeah, because it's interesting because I think Allison, I keep saying Allison, her name is Rose. She goes, Grandma, and activates Grandma.
Yeah.
And Grandma, in the body of Georgina, is rushing towards him, and I forget how he kills her.
He hits the brakes of the car, and her face slams into the windshield, and it kills her.
That's right. Because then he does the same thing with Grandpa, too. They activate Grandpa.
Yes, and Grandpa's going to kill Chris while Rose watches, but he flashes the camera in his face.
Yeah, so he's getting ready to kill him. He's just so strong, he's hulking man. He just makes that flash, and I guess before the clicking, it was flash.
I think it's the flash. I think the flash kind of awakens them. So Walter realizes what's happening. So he asks Rose for the gun to finish him off, but he's right back to being himself. So he shoots her, and you're like, oh shit, they're going to get out of this. And he fucking just looks at Chris, turns the gun, and blows his own brains out.
And it makes sense because he's not himself. He's controlled.
Yeah.
He got another brain in him.
Crazy. And then Chris gets up, and I love this scene too. He's strangling Rose, and you're like, wow, okay, he's going to get away with it. And then you see the police roll up, and you're like, no.
He's going to get fucked over.
I was like, not because he's strangling like
a black guy
to get into the political aspect of it, or what was going on at the time. A black guy strangling a bloodied, shot girl in the middle of the road. Mm-hmm. TSA Rod, that's who showed up, and it ends on a comedic note because he gets in the car. He's like, I fucking told you, man, sex slaves and shit.
So funny. Oh, no, this is a fucking great movie. I mean, it was super overhyped when it came out, and, like, I actually think that watching it almost, like, meets the hype. It just really...
It does.
It's a really good movie.
I agree with you. Us is, like, it might be better.
Dude, the twist...
But they're both really good.
I agree with you. The reason why I think Us is a little bit more of my favorite, just because this movie will keep you on the edge of your seat more. Us is frightening and has good twist. The doppelganger twists are so good.
Yes. And both those movies are led by super strong leads.
Well, yeah, that Lupita Nyong'o, she's so good
in Us. And I actually won't even say who's better because they're both fantastic. Like, I love both of them. I think what Us has going for it is, like, this one is led by Daniel Kaluuya and, like, Rose, Allison Williams. But, like, in Us, the whole family is
the father
so good.
is super funny.
And the two kids are both really good. Like, and then, like, on the comedic side of Us, the fucking the white family with, what's his name? Tim Heidecker, right? And Kate Moss.
Kate Moss, yeah.
Fantastic.
Or Elizabeth Moss.
Elizabeth Moss, not Kate Moss. Yeah, sorry. Elizabeth Moss. I don't know why I said Kate Moss. That's the model. Elizabeth Moss is so good. Like, it's such a good contrast to the other family.
Totally agree.
But yeah, that's Get Out. They drive away together, and they get away from the family. And I'm gonna give this movie... I'm trying to think. I don't remember what did I give Us? Because, like,
I know what I gave Us, and I think you gave it the same rating as me.
Did we give it an 8?
I think we gave it 9s.
We did, right?
I know I gave it a 9.
Okay. Because, like, I've talked about, like, Us being better, and then I would feel weird to give Get Out a higher rating, but I'm not giving Get Out a 9. So if we gave Us 9s, that makes sense. Because I was actually going to give this an 8.
That's fair.
Because I really like this movie, and it's like... I don't know what to say anymore that we didn't already say. Yeah. But, like, writing, directing, acting is literally top notch.
Yeah.
And that's, like, the main thing about this movie is this is a more of a thriller than a horror. But totally like agree. It's so well written. It keeps you engaged, I think is what you say is the best thing. You're constantly wanting to know what's happening.
It's not even slow either. Like,
no, it's not. It's not.
You're in it, and it always keeps you entertained. Like, Us is like a little bit more of a slower movie.
Burn, yeah.
I don't think it's boring, but it's a little slow. This just like kind of like puts you in it.
It helps this movie's only like an hour and 44 minutes. Yeah. So it's not long.
I think Us is like way over 2 hours.
It is. So those are the differences there. But yeah, I'm going to give this a good 8. Good 8.
Yeah, so I actually had this 8. I did go up to a 9 on this. I'm going to stick with 9. I really did like it. Look, I think that from the element of just like being at the edge of your seat, being a thriller, I think just his performance is just
fantastic.
It really is. And I think that like it's some of these like conversations are just so cringy. I'm not a black guy, but I could put myself in a position of like where if I was white and there was like other people that for some reason are like kind of like just like poking like a light fun at me being white and be like, yo, I used to listen to all of Elvis Presley's records. I love it.
Yeah. It was,
like, all right, man, you don't have to force it. I just listen to hip hop too, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to do that. It's just like, it's not overt, but it's just enough to get really under your skin.
Yeah.
And I mean, I like it. Like, I always like see it from the flip side. Now, could they do a movie reverse where a white guy is getting this from black people? I don't think that could ever be made nowadays.
No, but it wouldn't work as well.
I think it's just because of the history
exactly.
of
Exactly.
this makes it kind of interesting. And it does work. And I'm also going to give a humongous... Number one, Bradley Whitford is fucking great.
He is.
He's just such a funny fucking guy from Billy Madison, Otis.
Mm-hmm.
Even Breaking Bad, because he plays the counselor. He's just an awesome actor. Allison Williams, I think, is just an extreme up-and-comer. But Daniel Kaluuya steals the show. He is incredible. Like, I say this probably wouldn't be a Best Picture movie for me, but I could see why he was nominated for Best Actor.
Oh, okay. So that I agree with.
Yeah.
So his performance is a Best Actor performance.
I agree.
And I think this is something that I wish would have... Because, like, Toni Collette in Hereditary should have been Best Actress from Hereditary.
That's my biggest argument, because yes, he's up for Best Actor, and I'm not going to play the game of race because I think that's absolutely ridiculous. He absolutely deserves.
He destroys it. He's so good.
He 100% deserves to be in the conversation.
Yeah,
no buts about it. It's a critical miss on the part of the Academy not to nominate Toni Collette in Hereditary. She does way better than most of the people up that year. She has probably the best horror performance from a lead, and I couldn't even tell you the last time I've seen
and that's
something
why
like that.
I'm hoping the trend, they can continue a trend of like horror people actually getting Best Actor nods.
I would say like it's probably since Sigourney Weaver and Alien. Like, I couldn't think of a better horror performance than her.
Yeah.
Period.
No, 100%. You're right. And, you know, like, you can be in a horror movie and give a great performance. And I wish, like, the Academy took that into consideration more. I'm not saying they have to be up for Best Picture, but the individual performances should be honored. So,
yeah. No, but yeah, this is a must-watch movie.
100%. 100%.
I can see exactly why it got the hype it did. I don't think it was overhyped. I actually think it met the hype. It is an actual, for an hour 45 minutes, on your seat movie. I'm not black, but even it made me feel uncomfortable.
100%.
And I think it's because it was so not overt, but it was just enough to make you uncomfortable.
It didn't beat you over the head with it.
Exactly. Because you'd be like, all right, well, this is too much. But
it got its point across in the right way.
And when the brother came in, and he just made it really fucking uncomfortable.
But they didn't make every character like that, and that's why it works. You can have a character like that. It's when the movies make it every single person is like that. You're like, this is just unbelievable.
Yeah. No, it was well done for Mr. Peele in his first directorial debut.
Loved it.
Debut. He nails it. So good stuff. Happy to review it. Way overdue. Great movie. Definitely looking forward. He didn't do anything. Is it just these three?
Just these three. So we will get to Nope.
Yeah, we should.
Because I think we should just to...
Honorable mention to Stephen Root. I feel like Stephen Root just crushes at anything he does.
Well, did you watch the TV show Barry?
No, I hear he's good at that.
He is one of the main characters with Bill Hader. He kills his role.
Dude,
he is so fucking good in that movie.
He's great. Yeah. Even he had a
TV show.
He had a small role as a gay vampire in True Blood. And he
really?
Was good and he was good in that too.
That's incredible. All right. I guess we should go into our Necronomicon segment.
Yep.
Which I'm gonna give the brother, Jeremy, mine.
Yeah.
I think he was my favorite of the character. Like, my favorite death of all the family members.
I agree.
Okay. Then, Jeremy, you raging psychopath. You genetic freak.
You jiu-jitsu beast.
Yeah. You headlock king. You were just so crazy and so in a family where they overtly made it obvious that they were racist, where they walk up and they're like, by the way, did I ever mention my favorite rapper's J. Cole?
Yeah.
Like, they were just doing shit like that. Jeremy was the most unsettling.
Not to mention, he hooked up with the hottest girl in high school.
Wild. Absolutely wild. I mean, there's so much there between anyone in your family. We could have put you guys in there, but Jeremy, you got the honor of being in the Necronomicon. Congrats, buddy.
Congrats, dude. Yeah, I like him, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like,
Me too.
And I really liked him in Twin Peaks. He just plays a weird guy. And then the movie that I saw with him that I really enjoyed as well was Antiviral, where he starred in it, and it was Brandon Cronenberg's directorial debut.
I gotta watch that.
And I had to see his 2 new movies, which Possessor, I'm still dying to see, and then obviously Infinity Pool we'll be reviewing probably sometime next year.
Yeah, we might have it in the schedule. And by might, we do. We have it in the schedule.
We might just.
All right. So that is Get Out. We don't have a theme in November, but I'll tell you what we do have in November. Another movie we have wanted to review for a very long time, and I'm glad we're finally getting to it. It's going to actually be a big one.
It's a big one.
VHS.
Let's just say it's going to be a special night, folks. We're really excited for it. We have a slew of guests on, and it's going to be a night to remember.
It's going to be special.
Yes, it will.
Okay. So we are the final podcast signing off, and we will see you next week where we finally find our VHS player, because it's been lost in the attic for years, let's be honest.
Just want to say this was supposed to be the second movie we ever reviewed on this podcast. I don't know if you remember that. It was supposed to be like 2 or 3. And I remember we specifically were talking about it one day outside looking for Scott's birthday. We're like, we're probably going to do VHS.
You're right. And then we never touched the movie.
We like anthology. It's going to be fun. www.thefinalpodcast.com for all of our content. Definitely subscribe to us on YouTube. I know we haven't promoted it much, but we definitely need the support there. And, continue to rate us on the Apple Podcast. Listen to our stuff. Give us feedback. Give us recommendations. We are kind of booked out until next May, but we can always move stuff around if something else comes up and we feel that it's important. So please feel free to drop us a line, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.